Welcome to Nkositalkshows. Lead from within.
Find your own voice.
Challenges we have had to overcome in 2020.
Find your own voice.
The world has become united by the unseen, knowing there are no guarantees for tomorrow.
Lead from within.
Find your own voice.
Let the world hear your voice and be filled within.
For the day has come for you to be a great leader.
The time has come to break away from the pain, distraction, experience the unthinkable.
Welcome to Nkositalkshows. I'm your host today, and I've got three experts with me today. Over to you, Dr. Bigot. Please introduce yourself to our audience.
Thank you very much, Numsa. Thank you, and good morning from here, from the United States. Good afternoon, good evening, where you are. And it's an honor to be here and a great pleasure. And I am Virgit Tan, and my questions for you is, can you imagine and would you love to be able to live a wonderful life where you can express your greatness, a great life where you live so fully in your greatness, where everything is flowing so smoothly and easily in your life? And that's what I am here for. That's what we are here for today, for you to share with you on how to step into your greatness beyond any limit. And I am, as a speaker, an author, and a coach in grief transformations, I can help you do just that easily and with a lot of fun.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Bigot. Over to you, Shireen. Please introduce yourself to our audience.
Thank you, Nomsa. And hello, everyone. Yes, my name's Sherry Ann Lovegrove, and I help women with imposter syndrome who self-sabotage, procrastinate, and sophisticatedly hide. And I help them to step into sovereignty so that they can have the life that they were destined to have, one that is happy, healthy, abundant in every form, and divine. So really, it's about thinking about what are we here for? We're not here to just struggle. We're here to thrive. And this is about what this show is about and what everybody here is. And imagine what it would be if all of us thrived.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Shireen. Over to you, Carol Ann. Please introduce yourself to our audience.
Yes, hello. And it's lovely to be here again and in this, time to shine. And as the writing facilitator, that's what I do. I help women to shine with their writing, to unlock that writer within so they become more productive with their writing, and they experience free-flowing writing. They experience getting their book written, getting their story written, because you cannot publish what isn't written. And I've developed this through my own experience of unlocking the writer within, of breaking through those limits and going beyond where I thought I was capable of doing, and allowing myself to shine. So excited to be here and discuss today's topic.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Carol Ann, for actually saying you allowed yourself to shine. You allowed yourself to actually be the person you want to be by helping people writing their own story. So our topic today is how to manifest your greatness, go beyond the limit. So what does it mean, Dr. Bigot, when our topic, what does it mean? If one of our audience will be listening and saying, I don't understand what you guys are talking about.
Thank you, Numsa. So how to manifest your greatness and go beyond the limit? Well, everybody has actually different definitions of what greatness for them mean. For some of us, being great, being in the greatest way, could be, being a full-time home as a mom or a dad with your children that you really, really love, and being the best possible mom or dad that you love. And for some of us, it might be become a president of a company, while some others becoming the best doctors or nurses or something else is. And so what you want to do, to me, when you say how to manifest your greatness, first of all, you want to know what is it really for you that brings you the feeling that, yes, I am fully doing this into the best possible. To me, what when you say manifest your greatness beyond limit is fully stepping into what it is what you love to be in your very best self. And everybody's different. We're all meant to be different, but discovering what it is that you really, really make you feel expansive, and just loving it, loving what you're doing, loving what you how you're living, and knowing that there is no limit. There is a saying that the sky is the limit. And if we really look at the sky, it's not a ceiling, really. There is a ceiling above us, but the sky has no limit, right? So in other words, be and do what you really, really love. Discover what it is that you love, and knowing that the sky is the limit, which means there is no limit, and there is always an opportunity for you to be even better and continue to be bettering in what it is that you do in a way that you love.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Biget, for actually saying the sky is the limit. If you want to, whatever you want to manifest, anything you want to go for in life, you can only limit yourself, but there are no limitation. You can go above and beyond to be who you want to be. So, Shireen, now I've been told that I can go above and beyond to be the person that I want to be. What kind of a mindset do I need to actually get there for me to actually not limiting myself?
Yeah, thank you. Yes, Birgit, I loved your definition about the sky isn't the limit, and the fact that the sky has no end. It's limitless. And that is a really profound thing to remember, because our mind is limitless. We have billions and billions and billions of neurons, and it's just about how we think about things that cause different kinds of connections or different kinds of patterns forming. So the mindset is really very helpful when we start to link to our inner self and we start to get a sense of who we really are. Because when we get a sense of who we really are, that puts us in alignment with our mind, our body, and our heart. And that then means that we can start to get to the truth of who we are, which is that we are that individualized aspect of the Creator. We are that unique thread of genius that we are here to be in the world with. So when we have a mindset that's connected with that purpose or that sense of who we are, then we will commit to what it is that we need to do. We can then move hands and feet in that direction. So mindset, we need to have the clarity, but we also need to know how to get unstuck when we get stuck. So it's about knowing where our goal is and know what strategies we're going to put in place in order to make sure that we can get them.
So much. Thank you so much, Shireen. So now, Carol Ann, I've been told that I need to have a clarity of where I need to go. So now I have a clarity of the path where I need to go. So what do I actually need to do so that I don't get I don't allow myself to get unstuck, because there will be mountains that can come my way. So how do I deal with those mountains when they are presented to me? Because now I'm prepared for glory. and I'm not prepared for mountains. So what happens when mountains appears in my life?
That's a great question. Yeah, I found a huge mountain when I left teaching and wanted to sort of, well, actually bringing in something that I'm newly trained into. I found this huge mountain of resistance, wanting to bring it into my teaching. And at the time, I didn't know how to deal with it. And sometimes it is difficult. You get this huge mountain, however it forms, it's like, wow, how am I going to get through this? And I think I was trying to climb it at the time. It felt really hard work, and whichever way I turned, it always seemed to be something against me. And then one day I just suddenly thought, I don't need to go over the mountain. Why don't I just go through it? You know, you can tunnel your way through. So there's more than one way of actually clearing or getting beyond that mountain. And actually, a lot of the mountain is created by ourselves. So it was only through me going in and doing the inner work that I started to clear the mountain. Because what I realized was it's nothing to do with people out there. It's not them who are stopping me, or that's how it seemed. It was my own inner beliefs, my own resistance that actually created the mountains. And these people just showed up in that way. Situations just showed up in that way that seemed as if what I was wanting to achieve was impossible. So it was actually doing the inner work and just having that belief in myself and in what I was learning and what I was discovering, and having a thirst for learning more. It was like the more I learned, it was like this door opened and I was going, wow, there's all of this I didn't know about. This is it, you know, this is it. And then partway through the journey of learning that, there was another door that I discovered. And all of a sudden it's like, oh my goodness, there's all this. And now I've realized it's never ending. There's always something else to discover. There's always something else to learn. So it's being open to learning what there is to learn in that moment, and know that there's always more than one way to solve the challenge or what appears to be a mountain. And, you know, there's always a way of scaling the mountain down in your mind. So that's the question, well, what would it look like if it was just a molehill? How about going up, you know, and getting a different perspective and looking down on it in your mind's eye, because you're looking at it side on, you know, and we're very good at being able to shift our perspective. So it is finding those ways to shift perspective on it as well. So yeah, it's I feel I'm through the mountain now and out the other side.
Shireen, have you ever come across the mountain? I came across so many of them.
Oh yeah, oh definitely. I love that Carol brought in Carol-Anne brought in the aspect of what you can do in multiple perspectives, which is, you know, absolutely go around the mountain, go through the mountain, go, you know, take a multiple perspective higher up and see, you know, the funny thing is a lot of times when we have memories that are conflicts, we often see the person bigger than ourselves. And that's because we're still in that young age, or emotionally young age at least. And so we have to update that. And by updating that is by growing you up so that you're seeing this person at eye level. So in actual fact, you then can respond from a different way of being. And the fact when you do that, simply just by doing that, the system rearranges itself. Your neurological system goes, oh, that's different. And that then creates a beautiful shift in the brain. And the brain just says, oh, I like that. And it will give you a little hit of dopamine and you'll do it again. So once you've found a way to just hook into a little link that gives you that, oh, all of a sudden, you start to recognize that you are the creator of your thoughts. Because at the end of the day, we are the creator of our lives, really. Yeah. So the mountains, for me, one of the things is just really to get very curious, to look at it and to go, you know what? This mountain is here for a reason. Now, whether that's a truth or non-truth, I choose to believe that there's a lesson in everything that I experience. And so I may not know what the lesson is yet, but the fact I've noticed it means it's there for me. And therefore, I feel then that something or someone or even my higher self is watching out for me. And then I have a different relationship. I feel happier, I feel more safe, and it allows me to then take a step forward. So I think for me, that is where, when you have the mindset issues or obstacles, is to really have this multiple perspective, but develop a belief that it is there for you. And it's not a mystical thing. It's just that at that moment in time, you can now see and relax and be safe, that you can actually observe those doors, which Caroline was talking about. I have to keep saying Caroline.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Shireen. I like it because Carol Ann brought the mountain. I like it because, we all have different beliefs in life. And when you say, do you learn a lesson? I believe that that we do learn a lesson in every mountain, that we have to go through it. And I've learned so many lessons with the mountains that I have climbed, that I have gone through it. And sometimes you make plans, but then I've learned that when I make plans, I have to actually, because as a Christian, I have to actually bring God into my life to say, okay, this is the plan that I'm planning. So what is your plan for me? So in that way, I know that when I'm praying, when I'm meditating, he will show up and show me the plan. Even when things go wrong, I'll cry, I'll smile, then I'll just go through it like you said, like Carol Ann said. I like to hear Dr. Bigot, because we all have different beliefs about how we go through mountains. I like to hear your own opinion, because I don't want you to say I've been left out. How did you actually, have you ever come across a mountain in your life?
Absolutely. Thank you, Nomsa. Yes, the mountain of being left out. Just kidding. Yes, well, have I ever come out a mountain of in my life? Definitely. A mountain is different for everybody at every moment. But one of the mountain that Nomsa's been calling me doctor, and one of the mountain I have in my life was when I was the first year, my very first semester here in the US. It's uses semester system. My very first semester in the graduate school, my academic advisor told me that I was too stupid to become a doctor, and I should seek other things to do, to something that's a little easier, because doctors just for smart people. And that was only the beginning of many other things. And so how do I become a mountain? Well, back then I overcome the mountain. Back then I didn't know any better, and I actually fell into a severe clinical depressions and so forth and so on. Later on in life, somebody remind me that Thomas Edison, the guy who's been credited of in discovering electricity that we all use right now, was also told in his school, by his teacher, that he was too stupid for school. He should do something with his pleasant personalities. So how do I overcome mountain? There are two main things that I use to overcome any mountain, and the main thing is truly is the perceptions. Napoleon Hill says that every adversity, every heartbreak, every failure carries in it the seed of an equal or greater benefit. So when I see an adversity, I say, "Oh, thank you, life, for the gift of whatever it is that is something that is going to be much greater than my initial plan." And so just like when you receive a gift, sometimes a really great gift come in small box, but a lot of time the nice, beautiful gift come in big box. So the bigger the adversity, the bigger your mountain, the greater the results going to be, the greater the gift or the benefit going to be. And if you are able to and if you decide and you are able to put a rose color glasses instead of a dark gray sunglasses, then you definitely able to say, yes, there is situation. We're not Pollyanna. We're not just blindly optimist, but we say there is situation, but it's completely up to me if I'm going to see that this is a dead end, or this is something that Caroline and Shireen said, something to either go around, go through, or how about instead of climbing over, fly over with some support from some people who's able to do that.
So much. Thank you so much, Dr. Bigot. I think we have all actually grown, and now we can deal with our mountains when mountains comes our way. So thank you so much for sharing, everyone, for sharing how you went through your mountains and actually be able to actually be where you are today. So Carol Ann, how do you push beyond your limits and achieve your biggest goal?
I think the key is don't push, because I have found when I've pushed, the harder I've pushed, the harder I've been pushed back. And the more I've surrendered to it and opened up to the learning that's there, the easier it's got. There was one time when I was working with somebody and he was creating a website for me and helping me promote my program that I had at that time. And I was pushing him, saying, come on, we want this, I want this. Because I was in that frantic mode of, I need this now, And literally the relationship went boom, like that. And off he went. And that was it. I knew what I was doing. There was a part of me knew. I could feel myself doing it, pushing. And I thought this isn't going to end well. But I couldn't stop it. But it was a great lesson to learn. It was like, okay, recognize, just stop pushing. Everything will happen in its own time. Just stay open to what is it you're meant to be doing right now. And just keep asking that question. What is it that I'm meant to be doing right now that will take me to where I want to go? And I remember many years ago, staying with my daughter, living with her, and the grandchildren quite young then. And I think she only had the two older ones that were sort of young. And there was a part of me I was wanting to get on with my business, and I kept feeling this being pulled back to mum, and I was just resisting it. And eventually I just thought, surrender. This is where you're meant to be. You're meant to be here, supporting these souls coming into the world with what you're doing. And in that moment, I just let go, because I recognized that my greatness then was being mum, being grandmum, and so just embracing that role. So just recognize, what is it that you're resisting that is there in your face, that you're being guided to do, that you're going, no, 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 don't want this, and trying to push in a different way forward, just surrender to it and recognize that actually there is some greatness here that you really need to acknowledge, a way of being who you are, and embrace that and be the best of that you can be. Because then all of a sudden you just find things start opening up again, you know, and that's where the magic happens. So yeah, stop pushing. I know it's not easy, but
thank you so much. Thank you so much, Carol Ann. I think it is good not to push, as long as you're working with the person that actually is doing the work. It is good not to push them. For me, I do what you decided to do. I give people work, and then I let them get on with it. With my business coach, so what I do is, because he's got a service for all the package that I need. So if I need something, I email his secretary and say, could you please do this for me? If it's a design or anything, I just give him the design and I copy the email to my business coach as well. So he has the copy of my needs. So then I leave them, be it. So I know that I'm gonna get an email saying, okay, can you approve this? We've done your request, can you approve it? So that's how I've been able to actually basically learn to have patience. If I know, but there is a time where I can have patience. So I can't just let people get away with things and keep saying, oh, I'm waiting. No, I can't do that. So there's a limit. So I give them that time. I've never had any problem very quickly. So that in that part is good. But with the website, I had a big problem with the website. You ask them to do things, they go and do their own way. I think I had about two people building the website, and then I got the third time, my coach, that's when I found him, and then he used his designers, and then they got it right. But I went through so much with the website as well. So I think it's very, very important as well to actually know what you want in the time and give people time scale and not pushing like what you're saying, because pushing destroys the relationships as well. Because somebody, when you ask somebody to do things, they want to know that you can trust them. You can do they can do things for them. So I'm gonna come to you, Shireen. Carol Ann said you need to acknowledge that you have greatness in you. So I haven't got a clue what greatness is. I'm just, my feelings are I'm just making decisions, and anything that comes my way, I just accept it. Like she had somebody pushing somebody who was building a website. Me, I'm not pushing it, but I haven't got a clue what I'm doing. So how do I actually acknowledge that I have greatness in me and I can do the things that Carol Ann says I can be? You're muted.
Great question. Thank you. And yes, it's amazing. We just forget that we're on that, so used to conversation where you just talk automatically. But my phone rang and I thought, oh, damn it. I realized I hadn't done that. So that's why I went off. So greatness. So the question was that, how do we recognize our greatness? Well, I think for me, there's something really important in understanding that we all have the potential, like an acorn, to become an oak tree. We all, as human beings, we are here to expand. That's the natural order of things. We were born from a single egg, and guess what? We're thousands and billions of cells right now. So there is a natural drive to create and a natural drive to expand. Now, when we want to look at our greatness, it's really about the idea that we have this limitless potential. We have this potential, which we may not have yet tapped into. But it is again about recognizing that the fact that we are here, and it's about really reflecting on the fact that it was no mistake that you were born, yeah, in the sense. Yes, of course, it may have been a slip up on one night, of course, between two parents, but the fact that you lived through the first 3 months, and because the universe, first 3 months, most babies are miscarried. So you lived to term. You made it. You made it. You are a magnificent human being, right? And it's really about looking back and seeing all those little steps that you took, which you took for granted. None of us think about how long it takes a baby to grow and a baby to walk its first steps, 18 months for most of them. My goodness me, it takes a lot of shifting and changing and doing things. So it's really about spending a little time having a look at what a marvelous work of art you are, right? And then to start to look at what that marvelous bit of work that you are, what experiences that created you to make you unique in what you are here to serve. So and I suppose that it's really about thinking about what is it that I can do for someone else? Because we're here ultimately for other. Yes, we get some pleasure out of it, because when we share with others, we're changing mirror neurons in our brain, which makes us happy. So we get this whole cycle happening. So it's really important to kind of think about what it is that you see in others that's great and reflect it back to you, because we see ourselves in others. And by actually asking someone, because it's really interesting, a lot of people often say, you're absolutely amazing. And even if you don't think it, they see that aspect of you which you don't see for yourself. So I think that it's important to ask your friends what they see about you. I think it's important to be able to self-reflect and see the great things you have done. And that's a really exciting thing to do. Right on, you go and you look and say, oh my God, I achieved this, I achieved this, I achieved this. And that really gives us an ego boost. And we start to see just the journey, but we see, wow, we made it. That's how we start to notice our greatness. We start to see where we overcome obstacles and we push ourselves to a new growth edge. I'm not saying that we over push ourselves, but we are, so many times I've had people come to me as a therapist and they just say, well, I've had a really good life. And I'll say to them, yeah, but most of their parents were doing a lot of things for them. So they never got to see how good they were. They were not pushed in any way. So there's something about this level of comfort zone where you can push safely and not overextend. And that gives you a moment that you can reflect back and say, damn, I was good. And that makes us feel good. And then you start to notice your greatness.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Shireen. I like it when you say actually what we see with people is something that we see, because if you see beauty in you, when you look at the world, it doesn't matter what is going on, you're going to see the world as a beautiful place. So thank you so much for that. Dr. Bigot, I've been told that I need to work on myself so I can see beauty in everything that I do. Now I'm ready. I've got everything that I need. So what do I say when I want to manifest? What do I really say? I want to manifest for Nkositalkshows. I want the talk to go basically to save many people, 1 million. Please teach me, how do I manifest?
Your question is, what do you say?
Yeah, what do I say? Yes.
Okay, thank you. So one thing that you can, for me, that there's a multiple things you can say, but for you to manifest what you would love, your greatness in whatever it is that now you know that you would love, to say to yourself, first of all, that everything is possible if you believe in yourself. If you believe in yourself, and actually to me it's that to me it's a wonderful quote, but it's to me if you believe in yourself and allowing support and take the action, then anything is possible. To really tell yourself, because a lot of time, Carol Ann hinted to this earlier, that a lot of time, we see seemingly there is a big mountain out there, but a lot of time the mountain is in our mind, while it's perhaps there is a molehill. We depend on how we see it. If you have a molehill and you're lying down and looking up like that, it would look like a mountain. But if you stand up, it will actually, you realize, oh, it's something I can just step over immediately, and not that become a deal. And so what you can say is that anything is possible, and it is possible for you to take this from a dream to a reality if you believe, if if I believe in myself and I allow support and I take the action, then anything is possible. Now the support can be from somebody, a friend, a colleague. As you mentioned, you have coaches. That's what coaches are for, to be able to let you know that, hey, you are actually looking at this molehill lying down. So if you just get up, you'll be able to step over it. And then also it could also be in support from the so-called, depend on what people call it. Some people call it God. Some people call it divine intelligence. Some people call it the infinite. You can put whatever name it is, but there is Shireen mentions the higher self, but there is something for us to be able to even breathe. Think about this, for you to be able to breathe and for your heart to keep on beating. There is something beyond you that is moving all these things. And so even if you don't particularly say, oh, I go to the church or something, and which is absolutely a wonderful thing to do if you do that. But even if you don't, there is something beyond your own personal power, and to allow support from that as much as to allow support from other people, from coaches, and actually look for support. A lot of people pray for the or put a statement to the infinite, ask for support to other people. And so tell yourself that anything is possible if you believe in yourself and allow support and take the action.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Bickett. I like it when you say you have to believe in what you are saying, what you want, and what you are saying. Because I was listening to an audio this morning, and she was saying, this woman was saying, if you look at the artist, when they write music, when they sing on stage, they have to believe the words. If they don't believe the words, then there's going to be a pause. So that's how things life is. You have to believe in the things that you want. And thank you so much for that, because I'm going to have to believe and say everything is possible. I'm going to seek support. Now, Carol Ann, I'm in a mindset that I believe in myself. I believe everything is possible, and I'm seeking support to the universe and God, or God. What is the secret manifesting in your own view, Carol Ann?
Oh, there's a word that has popped into my head as we're talking just now, and as you asked that.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, it's about listening. The word listen was really quite strongly here. And most times we're so often just thinking about it in our head, talking about it. We don't actually listen. And listening is not just hearing, because we hear, that's a passive action. We hear everything. But listening is actually focused attention on what you're hearing and processing it in your brain, thinking, well, what is it that person's just said? And if you're not sure, then questioning that, but you're with that person and what they're saying. You're not in your head thinking about what it is you want to say in return. So there is a difference between listening and hearing. And most people they just hear, but they're in their head waiting to talk. You're so in your head about, oh, I want this and I want that, but it hasn't come yet, that you haven't actually listened to actually it might be here right now. And that what somebody is saying to you is actually just what you need to hear. Because you might be thinking, oh, I already know that, I already know that, I already know that. Well, in that moment, you've closed the door to hearing just maybe one word that might be slightly different, that would change it and have you think and go, oh, well, I hadn't actually thought about that, you know? So it's really being open and recognizing when you are creating these blocks to you actually receiving what is already being given to you. So listening to me is key.
Thank you so much, Carol Ann. I like it when you say listening is the key for the secret for manifesting, because, you know, even when you pray, you don't just pray and pray and pray and keep going and say, I know what I'm doing. You pray, then you sit down. You have to sit down and actually listen, because when you go for a walk, like you might pray today, this morning, and you pray, you say, God, this is my situation, and then you leave it. You go for a walk somewhere, and you are listening because you are outside the nature. So then something comes in in your mind and say, oh, solution. And you're like, ah, yes. And because you're listening, basically, you're focusing, you're listening. So thank you so much for that. Shireen, Carol Ann, she's saying it's very good, it's very, very good to listen. And how do I manifest? Now I'm listening. How do I manifest for a miracle? Very quickly.
Manifest for a miracle very quickly without doing anything, I wonder? I think we can always have to do some work.
I'm doing something. I've been told by Dr. Bigot, I've been told by Carol Ann, and now I need to actually listen and manifest for a miracle very, very quickly.
Yeah, that was just my my bizarre sense of humor. That
I know you have a good sense of humor.
So yeah, I mean, I guess what I'm thinking about is manifesting is kind of like about going for a goal. And if we understand that fundamentally, as humans, we are actually in a way goal-driven, and our brain likes to have an outcome that we can work towards. It doesn't mean that we have to always get to the end there, but it likes direction. It likes to know it's going somewhere rather than nowhere. So I guess when Caroline said the word that jumped up for her was listen, well, the word that jumped up for me was coherence. Coherence, which is all to do with the fact that there is no objection towards the goal that you want. So it's almost like all parts of you are in alignment with that goal. So you've got the clarity, your heart is committed, and the body is working towards it. So when you have an idea that you want to go, you've got to have a very strong feeling that goes with it. Because the strong feeling is the driver that allows you to actually take action. And so when you think about your goal, you're creating, in a sense, an idea of a manifestation. And what you want is then an activation.
Dr. Bigot?
Am I there? Have I frozen?
Yeah, you were frozen.
Oh, right. So what you need, so I don't know where I was on that moment, but let's just backtrack a second.
Well, the clarity, you have clarity of where you want to go or something.
So you have clarity where you want to go. And you want to have first the idea of a manifestation. So you want to be able to be clear about what it is that you want. Does this fit with me? Is this the right thing for me to do? Is there coherence? And then you want to activate it. You want to really get excited about it. You want to allow it to fit so that you build that energy, because actually energy is what draws our future closer to us so that we live in the moment of our future. So when you're planning something, you've already seen it, you've already jumped in there. All you're doing is letting it pull you along. So if you want to get to manifest really fast, you have to be in that future already and let the future call you and pull you, because that's the quickest way you're going to get there. So it's really important to be coherent with what it is that you want, and know that it's going to be there, that all of you, every part of you is going to resonate with that. So that when any objections come up, you go, no, that's not my dream. I know not to go down that lane. I'm going to go to this lane. Yeah. You don't take detours. You just go ahead in the stream, trusting that you're being led in the flow.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sheree. Basically, I need to avoid the distraction and live in that, enter that world and basically enjoy the world where I say I need to be. Basically, knowing that whatever I'm asking is going to be given to me, because the Bible says, seek you will find. So if I don't seek, I'm not going to get anything. Dr. Biggett said I need to believe. So if I don't believe what I'm asking, then that means I'm not going to get it. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. Dr. Biggett, I know you guys love this topic, so I'm not going to take the glory of you guys. How do you manifest your miracle in your own, using your own beliefs?
Thank you, Nomsa. So how do I do that? Absolutely. So to me, definitely, it's actually a combination of a lot of different things. And in the most interesting way, Caroline says the first one is listening to really, whether you listen to your intuition, which is the higher power guidance, or if you have coach, you got to listen to them. You can. There are people who pay coaches and then they refuse to do anything, and well, it's not going to get you anywhere. And then the coherence, the coherence with you take actions in making sure, and everybody can and recommend things. Even when I do coaching, I do what we call evocative coaching, where I recommend things, but you are the higher self and you know yourself. So making sure that, as Shireen says, everything is in alignment, basically in alignment with what it is that you love. That if it's a recommendation that just doesn't even go with your core value, for instance, then you don't do that. But have everything in alignment and take, as she says, actions. And to me, the number one thing that will allow you to get from down here to up here and quickly and successfully is consistency. Imagine it's like a rocket. When you release a rocket, when a rocket goes up, imagine a rocket that want to go to the to outer space. Now imagine if the rocket go up and come back down, up, come back down, up, come back down. It will take forever. On the other hand, if it is a consistency that keep going and going and going and going, and yes, you might be shaking. If you ever see somebody releasing a space shuttle, those things shake so hard. You feel that you just watching it, you like, this thing gonna fall apart, but they don't fall apart. They keep going. And then to have booster rocket, because we know actually when somebody release a rocket, you will hit the edge of the atmosphere, which is the edge of your comfort zone. And if you don't have a booster rocket, whether it's a coach or somebody who can say, you can keep going, keep going, keep going. Don't look, don't step back, don't look back, don't detour. Then that's how you can keep going. But a lot of time on your own, just like a rocket that we release to the outer space, if you don't release, if you don't have booster rocket, that rocket, even the big mighty rocket, it hit the edge of the atmosphere, you meet the edge of your comfort zone, you will fall back in. So do everything you can to be able to have consistency that you can keep going and going and going and build, and then the sky is the limit.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Biggett. I think I agree with you, because like myself, I like praying when I want to do something. I know if I pray, I connect myself with the energy that I want. So I like to pray, but it has to be something that is consistent, so that I don't actually give up. So I have to keep going. I have to keep going, knowing that whatever I'm manifesting, whatever the miracle that I'm looking for is going to come to me, because I've asked for it. And they have to say thank you as well. Show gratitude and appreciation. So thank you so much. Anything you want to add, Carol? And I told you I'm not taking the glory, because people love to manifest. I know coaches love to manifest for something.
Don't stay in silence, because silence doesn't communicate to anybody what it is that you're wanting to manifest. And the word communication came up just now, and it's about you sharing, because it's in the sharing with other people that things then happen. You know, when you have a conversation with somebody, that's where it actually comes to life. While it's in your head and you're just thinking about it, there's silence out there in the world. And I think there's also this about staying on track. What's that Shireen was saying about being coherent and clear, and it is having that, being in alignment with that, and it's staying on track. But if you can recognize when you do veer off, it's okay but the main thing is to recognize it and go, okay, that's where I want to go. I'm going this way. How do I get back on track? And being able to then pull yourself back on track. But it's communicating. And okay, if you're going off track, I'm not quite sure where all of this is going. It's like, I feel there's something around silence, around trying to sort it out for yourself, or just going along with it. But it is at some point talking with somebody, sharing about it, that will help you to go, oh, okay, I'm doing this, but maybe I ought to go back again. Or someone can actually remind you, well, what is it is your main goal? Where is it you're heading? Because you can go so far off track that you've actually lost sight of what it is you wanted to manifest. So again, being in that conversation, having been in communication with somebody else who can then bring you back again on track. So I think communication is very key. And okay, it's okay to go silent for a bit, but silence has you hidden. It has you hidden from the world. And I know that. I've been in hiding for a long time, and it's time to step out. And I know a lot of the women who've got this story to tell, who are there for me to work with, they've been hiding their greatness behind their story. They're not sharing it with the world. And so it's recognizing that it's in your story is where your greatness is kept. That's the secret. It's in there, it's hidden. And by sharing it with the world, so then it starts to shine. And that helps to move you beyond what you saw as a limit for what you were capable of achieving or capable of, going to. So, yeah, enjoy the silence for a while, but get back in communication and share.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Carol. And I think sharing is basically you have to choose one person that you share things with. I have two people that are close to my heart that I share when I'm praying for something. I share with them for them to guide me through. And I don't tell my family, I don't tell my friends. I've chosen two people that are, when I'm doing something, I will just share with them to help me. When I share my family, that means the mountains that I've been fighting, I've pulled through. So thank you so much for that. For those who are watching Nkosi Talk Show, we are here Monday to Friday, 1 p.m. Please come and join us, come and share with us. And if you want to get in touch with our coaches, please get in touch with them. On our page, we have the phone number, we have an email address there. And Shireen, is there anything you want to leave with our audience, words of encouragement before we leave?
Yeah, I love what Carol Ann said, which was communicate, because one of my things was imposter syndrome. So part of writing my book was when I got to see what my unique gift really was. So I think it's so important to find a way that you can talk to others and share with others, special people that are seeing you for the potential you are. So they are there to listen to you and are there for you. Very often we share our ideas with other people, and the first thing they come into is all the negatives. You want someone on your side, no matter what, that's going to say, you know what, go and do it. I'll help you do it. I'll be there for you, whatever you do. And that is what you need when you start and want to move forward to go beyond your limits. You have to have someone that's at your back. And I love the second thing, which was about your prayer. There's something so important about prayer, which is that it's done. So the moment you say it and you give it over to God, it's done. And that then allows everything to become possible. So yeah, say a prayer. And just remember at the end of it, it's done.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Shireen. Over to you, Dr. Bigot. Any words of encouragement you would like to leave with our audience?
Thank you very much, Nomsa. Yes, absolutely. At the end, the truth is, we are all meant for greatness. Even if you just say, look at a tree. A lot of the trees continue to grow and become great trees. Everything in nature is meant to be its best, most fulfilled self. And there is no difference. You are part of nature. So you are actually meant for greatness. And a lot of time it is what other people say, what society says, and everything that limit us, that limit you in your belief. It's those, oh, don't dream too big, be realistic. Who do you think you are? Perhaps it's from other people, perhaps it's from you comparing yourself with other. But the truth is you are meant for greatness, because that's what nature is. You are, as a well-known author named Mandino says, you are nature's greatest miracle. Just think about it. You compare to other animals, there are no animals that can say create and things the way you are. And so you are meant for greatness, and that there is greatness in you. If you step into it, then everything is possible.
So much. Thank you so much, Dr. Bigot. Over to you, Carol Ann, please. Any words of encouragement?
Yeah, just trust your inner guidance. Trust your own intuition. And remember that actually miracles happen all the time. Miracles are only something that we thought wouldn't happen that happens. It doesn't have to be huge, because sometimes we just think miracles are huge things. There are small miracles happening every day. So recognize what is one thing that you thought wouldn't happen, but actually did happen. That's a miracle. Acknowledge it, embrace it, and move on. So recognize the small miracles that happen every single day.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Kiddo Ann.
Welcome to Nkositalkshows. Lead from within.
Find your own voice.
Challenges we have had to overcome in 2020.
Find your own voice.
The world has become united by the unseen, knowing there are no guarantees for tomorrow.
Lead from within.
Find your own voice.
Let the world hear your voice and be filled with it.
For the day has come for you to be a great leader.
The time has come to break away from the pain, distraction, experience the unthinkable.
Live with grace, everyone. We love you. See you tomorrow.